feel at the moment, actually?
I feel very good actually. I feel like I'm growing into the race. First of all, getting better and better, but also I feel like I have already a very high level, and as I said many times, way higher than I could have ever expected with only 1.5 months of real preparation.
And how is it when you compare it to last year?
I mean, of course, it's difficult to say because we only had one real mountain stage, so I think it's maybe a bit under, but of course, then it's good for me that we've had 9 days where only that it's been so easy, so to say, in the first week, and then maybe I can still grow into the race.
Yeah, you're really focusing on the last week.
I would mainly say that the 2 last weeks. There's also a really hard week or weekend coming up in the second week.
Pogacar said yesterday that after the race, they only focus on me and not so much on the others. How do you feel about that?
We only focused on not losing time yesterday. So that,
Is Pogacar the only rival?
No.
Or is it actually good that there are more rivals leading into the four, in the final 9 stages, and they can carry the weight of the race more than just 2?
No, I think for sure it's good for me that there are more rivals, because then maybe someone else can also help making the race harder, which is always good for me, I think. So in that case, I think it's good that there are more guys in the GC still, and as I said before, I don't only see Pogacar as rival. I see in general the whole top 10 as rivals, or even more. And you have to be careful with everyone. But a day like yesterday, our main focus was not to lose time, and we succeeded in that in our tactics. Maybe people don't understand it, but that's their problem.
You seem to be enjoying racing at the moment. Is it a correct observation?
Yes, I enjoy being back after my crash. I enjoy being in the bunch again to race. I think, of course, the crash in some kind of way, changed it, because now I'm just happy to, first of all, be alive, but also just to be here.
Thank you.
Anyone else in English yet?
Jonas, we just talked about what Tadej said after the stage yesterday. Remco said he thought that you maybe, I thought that you saw it, but that you lacked some balls. Do you agree with that?
Well, if I would have been riding with those 2 guys with 70k to go and then get dropped on the 3rd last sector, like I did from Pogacar, then I would have lost the Tour de France yesterday. So I wouldn't say lack of balls, I would just say riding smart.
It seems that it was like a lot of a stage out there yesterday, and with you guys being, it was very tense. Can you say a bit about how it was, like the fight between you, Remco, the UAE riders on the roads yesterday?
I think like going on to every sector, it was pretty much a sprint between us and UAE to get in first. And I had good help from Wout. He brought me in first on all the sectors almost. So I think in general they saw it also as an opportunity to try to attack both Remco and Pogacar. And my only focus was to try to follow them, and especially after I had the puncture that I was riding on the bike of Jan. The saddle height is the same, but of course not the whole bike is the same, and then it's better to be a bit more defensive.
Daniel?
Jonas, we've talked about how this week, or last week, was a process of overcoming doubts. Doubts about your explosive power, doubts about the high mountains, doubts about your power on the flat yesterday. What doubts are left in your mind about your condition?
I mean, of course, with the crash, you don't know how I will be in the 3rd week. That's more the doubt I have now. I know I have a high level. Of course, I hope still to grow into the race, but also to, in some kind of way that, yeah, I don't know how I will react. Normally we know that I'm always really good in the third week still, but of course with the crash it might change things.
And you said, well, you compared your level to last year's. What's your impression of Tadej's level compared to last year's?
It's also hard to say because we haven't really been, how do you say it, challenged that much. Because the Galibier was headwind, so you drafted a lot there, and it was only a sprint over the top, which he was also really good in last year. We saw it on many occasions that he could drop me there, but then it was the same there, and yeah, it's pretty hard to tell.
Hans?
Hi Jonas. You were talking about enjoying more getting on the bike and everything, but does that also make winning less important, I presume? And is that maybe a danger for winning the Tour de France because winning is less important?
No, I still have the ambitions, but in the end it doesn't matter, life goes on if you win or not. I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, actually the opposite, because in some kind of way I feel less pressure. Not that I had any problems with handling the pressure before, but I feel like there's less pressure from mainly myself probably, but as I said, if I win, I win, and if not, life still goes on. And as I said many times, I think the crash changed it, that I'm just happy to first of all be alive, but also to be here.
Yeah?
Jonas, time gap is now 1:15. You were talking about the last weekend, the Pyrenees, the second week, there will be a heavy third week. Maybe you lose a bit more, maybe you get a bit more. You took more than 1.5 minutes in the last time trial last year. Give us your opinion about what margin that they can have before heading in the last 3 days. 2 minutes, 3 minutes, what can you make up?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell. I mean, last year I took 7.5 minutes in 2 days, so everything can happen, and I won't put a number on how much time he should have before it's impossible for me to get it back. It also depends because as I said before, we don't know how I will react in the third week. So in that case, I'm just we're gonna see day by day and just race, try to race for the victory. And
but you're still not in the red danger zone of the time margin. He can take a bit more, maybe.
I mean, of course, it would be better if the closer you are. But as I said, I always trusted our plan last year, and it worked out, and I still trust the plan we have this year. So as I said, I won't put a number on how much time he can get.
Did that plan change compared to December when you first spoke about these sort of plans? After what happened with the crash, is there any change, or is it basically still the same plan?
No, of course, things changes after the crash because we didn't know how I will be coming into the race. Of course, one thing is what you can do in training, but another thing is what you can do in racing. So, of course, we were having doubts in the start of the race. We changed our plan a bit for the first week.
Final question, sorry, Dan. Yeah, thanks. Final question, we're there in English, then we switch to Wout in Dutch, yeah?
Hi, Jonas. Just one question regarding the frustration of Tadej and Remco yesterday about your tactics. May it also be some insecurity on their side because you haven't had this normal preparation? They don't know how fit you are. You're a bit of the dark horse of the three of them.
Yeah, I think about the frustration and things, I think you have to ask them. But of course, I guess they also don't know how I will be in this race. As you say, I'm a bit of a dark horse because, it's the first time I'm coming into the Tour de France like this, and we don't know how I will react in in the coming 2 weeks.